Hi guys and welcome to the State of Crypto, your one-stop source for all crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin and this is episode 49. Millennials love Bitcoin, Israeli startup allows offline crypto transactions, and Binance adds margin trading for Dash and Zcash. Now, hey David, how's it going, man? Happy, what are we at today? Thursday. Happy Thursday night to everyone. I hope you're having a great week. Weekend's almost here, so just one more day of work for a lot of people, and whoever works on the weekend. I mean, I'm sorry guys, but you probably enjoyed different rest days, I guess. But anyways, for most of the people, weekend's here, so hope you guys enjoy it. Enjoy today. Yeah. So if you're catching this stream live, like I said, welcome. And if you're catching the replay and have any suggestions for us, please, you can leave us a comment below. We really want to know what you are thinking. Now, if you want to keep up to date with the latest crypto-related news, make sure you subscribe. You hit that like button and that bell so you're notified when we go live. And if you want to keep on chatting with us once the stream is done, you can join us on the Discord. The link is in the description. Now, on to the news. Israeli startup that allows offline crypto transactions secures $4 million, right? Now, an Israeli cybersecurity startup, GK8, has reportedly developed the world's first offline system for transactioning with cryptocurrencies. The new system uses GK8's proprietary cryptographic techniques that enable instant blockchain transactions of digital assets without any need for an internet connection. That is pretty cool because that means you're not exposed to hackers on the internet. The company raised $4 million in a funding round led by Discount Capital, which is a venture arm of one of Israel's three largest banks, Discount Bank. Now, as reported by Globe's, GK8's new cryptographic techniques allowed the company to develop a cold wallet with hot wallet functionalities, right? Securing users' funds from hackers and cyber attacks. GK8's CEO, Lior Lamesh, described GK8's technology as ledger agnostic, right? Hinting that it can be used for Bitcoin and other cryptos, which is also pretty good, It can be used across the market. Now, GK8 was founded in 2018 by two members of an Israeli Special Defense Unit that specializes in guarding the country's digital assets. Now, let's go and see what the market is doing, man. Yesterday when we left, everyone was in a panic, right? Because, oh man, we were dumping, but no, we were chill. Anyways, yesterday had a positive day, 0.84%, right? Yeah, so basically $264 billion, closing at $264 billion. Right now, these 2 hours, right, we're dropping a little bit, sitting at 0.73% down, basically sitting at $262.6 billion. Still a pretty good number, right? On to Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance yesterday rose, right? I mean, even though it's dumping, man, Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin came back strong. So we're going to look at that. Bitcoin on the daily yesterday, 0.35% from an opening of 69.45, closing at 69.66. And right now sitting at 0.28% above from yesterday. So 69.86% of dominance. Now let's go on to the article for Bitcoin. This article is based on a poll. Basically, it's a survey released today, which was conducted by One Poll, which is a UK-based research firm. Now, it suggests that young people in the US have a growing interest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. The trouble is basically that a sizable portion of them still don't trust crypto, and some even struggle to understand it, according to the report. Now, the survey polled approximately 500 young people between the ages of 18 and 42 earlier this year, and found that nearly half of the millennial and Gen Z respondents, 43% to be exact, think cryptocurrency could replace the US financial system today. Another 26% believe that it would get there one day soon. Now, 98.4% associate cryptocurrency with Bitcoin, and 77.4% say that they've heard of Ethereum. So, I mean, of the more minor coins they probably haven't even heard of, right? The survey also demonstrates that more than a third, 37.14% to be precise, of the young people don't yet trust cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, citing things like regulations and volatility as concerns. Now, of those polled, 14% of the millennial and Gen Z respondents basically cited a lack of understanding as their main reason for not getting involved in crypto. And we're here for that. We're here to help people learn about crypto, and so they can understand it. Now, in an interview with Decrypt, which is this website that I'm getting the article from, Paxful CEO Ray Youssef stated that many people are not gamblers. They just want to make money and make their lives easier, he said. He also added that crypto can make life easier, but nobody is doing enough to educate themselves. There is too much focus on speculation. I'm sure many of these young people have only heard of crypto from pump and dumps. And, it's one of those sad realities that maybe a lot of people don't associate crypto with the benefits that it has. I don't believe that people need to understand crypto to get into it. It's not the how crypto works. It's like why crypto is needed, right? So if you teach them about the why, it's easier to get things through to people. Because if, let's say, you drive a car, likely, or if you've been in a car, you need to know how it works. You just know that you put the key on, you turn it, and it turns on, and then if you press the gas, it goes, and then if you press the brake, it brakes, right? You really don't need to understand more than that. If the car breaks, then you go to a mechanic. Same thing with crypto. People just need to know what the use of crypto is, like why crypto is useful, not how it works. If you try to explain to people how crypto works, they're not gonna get it, right? People don't understand money, right? How money works, how the economy works, and still they use money every day to buy and sell. So, really, knowing the how is not important, but the why and convincing people why it's good and why it's better for everyone, I think that's where the key is, right? Anyways, let's go look at the Bitcoin chart. What happened, man? Yesterday, you see, we had this large candle. We were here during the stream. People were freaking out. Oh my God, we're dumping. We said, chill, man, chill. We're gonna get a pullback, right? And we did. We got a pretty nice pullback. You feel banks look less appealing by the day, especially with the younger people. Yeah, I have problems with banks, and being with a bank doesn't really mean any security, right? 1 second. Sorry about that. One of my cards was cloned, and it was BS, man. The bank returned the funds. They opened an investigation, then they end up taking the funds away, say that, it was my responsibility because I'm the card holder. And basically, if I hold a card, I'm basically liable for anything that happens with it, and it's BS. So I also believe that banks, crypto could be safer for sure, but I don't believe in the banking system as a real means of safekeeping money, right? They do get hacked. Money gets stolen off the banks all the time, so it's not really an issue that I'm comfortable with the bank as well, right? So I do believe crypto and exchanges are gonna end up being at that point where all you need to have is a good wallet and a debit card linked to it, and you will be able to pay with crypto, and there's a lot of solutions like that already, right? So banking is gonna become less and less useful for people, and with crypto, you don't have that problem of the company weight. If you have a certain amount of money or less in your card, then they start charging you a management fee for the account, or an account upkeep fee, which is retarded, stupid, because it's you're giving them your money and your business for them to hold, and then they can do other stuff with the money so long as it's available to you, right? But while it's sitting there, it's generating interest and everything else for them. And the fact that they still charge you if you have less than a certain balance, I think it's really dumb. Banks did not used to do that before. Maybe banks started to have so much weight of so many people working on the branches, on the main offices, that they just could not basically keep up with the payrolls that they have to basically balance, and they had to start charging people to use their bank, right, and their infrastructure. So I do believe that with crypto you kind of solve that. You don't necessarily have to be with a bank, right? You just have a credit card or a debit card associated with your wallet. You use your crypto. there's no tellers, there's no bank branch, there's no people, right? So certainly does get some of that weight off the banking system, or of the card, right? Of the strain on the people put in the card. Anyways, you still need a bank to have an ATM to go and withdraw the money from. Right now, that could change. Anyways, Bitcoin on the daily, we came coming back. That was good. We closed below the 20 MA. I mean, nothing you can do there. We tried to go up again. We touched that 20 MA again. Are getting rejected. Still contracting on the Bollinger Bands. Even though we had that wild swing, look at it on the daily, man. We're still getting that contraction. Volatility is tightening up. We might see an explosive movement. I mean, this is just some of the movements that we can expect maybe coming up, right? Anyways, what is going on? Did we make negative momentum? Positive, right? Small green bar. Even though it looks awkward because I have this here, it's from a much shorter time frame, but the bars are green right now, stagnating a little bit. Sitting really comfortable in the RSI at 48.36. You know, it's like nothing happened. We are sitting at where we were yesterday before we went down, right? So really nothing to worry about with Bitcoin, right? We were cool. We said we could scalp on the way up, and if someone did, man, they probably made all this way back up to here, right? So it's a large movement, right? We'll see how long of a movement it was. Let me go on the daily just to measure that real quick. So from here to here, it's like maybe like a $750 movement, you know, roughly. That's a pretty good move. Let's go on the 4 hours and see what is happening. Some expansion on the Bollinger Bands. We're sitting above that 20 MA, which is good. We got a cross off the MACD over the signal line. That is also good. You know, we got it here. But we were getting some nice green candles before, right? Basically undoing what we did. We kind of flagged. Usually this flag would have seen us break to the downside, right? But I think we were sitting so low on the RSI that, I mean, we could have certainly gone down still more, but we weren't developing any kind of divergence, right? I mean, not that it would be easily seen, but you know, usually a sort of pennant or triangle in this area could have meant price action to the downside. You know, we've seen it before, so I was glad that we were coming back on the. Is it? I can't remember on what time frame. Maybe it's in the 1 hour that we'll be able to see it. On the 1 hour, I think we were sort of making it. We didn't make that pattern, but we were making a morning star type of pattern, right? So, anyways, we're sitting above that the RSI. We're sitting at 54 on the neutral zone. Positive momentum starting to build still. We just got that cross. We could ride this around for a little bit more, but still hugging that 10,234 support. We'll see that in the 1 hour. We actually bounced off it a couple times. What else is going on? Are we doing something from here to here? Well, from here to that low, yeah, we are, right? There's no other red islands. So if we go from here to here, and what are we at here? 32.73 and 38.88. It's almost a straight line, right? So we could have been making some sort of bullish divergence, right? Like weak bullish divergence, class C or type 3, and that could have seen us prop to the upside, right? So again, that could have definitely signaled that price action to the upside, right? I'm gonna leave it there. We did not have it on the RSI, I believe. We're not oversold here, and here we're definitely oversold, right? Anyways, let's go into the 1 hour and see what's happening. On the 1 hour, sitting above that 20 MA, sitting below that channel, using it as resistance right now. But we use this channel as support 3 times. We're not able to bounce off it, so obviously we're gonna break down. Right now we're trying to go above it again, but we still can't. Positive momentum starting to decrease, sitting high on the RSI at 64.11. If you wanted to consider this a pool, right? These could sort of be a flag, maybe, right? I mean, I'm not sure if this actually would be straight, right? So, you know, not really a kind of flagging that you want to see, but we need to wait for this pattern to develop a little bit more. Maybe we are within a sort of down-sloping wedge. I mean, if we take this and I go here, then yeah, it would be a sort of down-sloping wedge, right? Like that. And that's usually bullish, and it would mean price action to the upside, potentially. But seeing that we are high, whatever we do to the upside, if we break this to the upside, we might make again bearish divergence, and then we break down again, right? Anyways, just I'm gonna leave this here to just keep it in mind. But yeah, that's where we would be for Bitcoin, right? See, this is a pattern that I was talking about, like a long impulse down, a sort of small doji that is below, right? You usually would have a gap, but since we don't have days or where we can gap down, it's usually here for cryptos. And then we had an impulse up. This would have had to come up half the way and close there for it to be a valid morning star pattern. But we didn't, we just had that other divergence that we talk about, that bullish divergence that potentially saw us prop to the upside, basically gaining everything we had lost before. Yeah, onto Ethereum. So this is news for like an old Ethereum advisor that apparently it's gonna go to jail. Steven Narioff is a technological entrepreneur. It's a technology entrepreneur involved with Ethereum, Casper Labs, and D0, and other ICOs. He was arrested today along with Michael Hladi on charges of extortion. Now, they are both being charged with threatening to destroy a Seattle-based startup that issued cryptocurrency tokens to as like loyalty rewards, right, to help clients and users sell products. Now, on November 2017, the company planned an ICO and agreed to an arrangement in which they were going to pay 22.5 of all funds raised and then 22.5 of all cryptocurrency tokens issued. That would be paid to Narioff for supporting a successful ICO. Anyways, days later, before the ICO, Narioff demanded an additional 17,000 Ethereum, which it was approximately at that point in time $8.5 million, for basically no additional reason, right? He just wanted more money. So this would have raised his compensation to like 30,000 Ethereum, and he threatened to derail the ICO and destroy the company if his demands were not met. Then he later introduced this other guy, Hladi, who basically framed as his operations guy with basically an imposing background on national intelligence that included taking down a head of state. Now, in March 2018, both men allegedly threatened the company and demanded a loan of 10,000 Ethereum, which again was worth around $4.45 million at that time, in order to avoid the company's destruction. Now, the money was sent to them, but it was never repaid. Now, Narioff and Hladi have both made their initial appearances this afternoon in the federal court, and the two men face up to 20 years in prison if they are convicted, right? Now, Vitalik Buterin confirmed this week that testing is currently underway to improve the network performance and reduce transaction fees. Now, mining pool Bitfly tweeted on September 14th that given the current Ethereum network congestion, we have started to test raising the block gas limit to 10 million gas. Now, according to research data from Coinmetrics, as of September 15th, Ethereum users paid almost as much in daily transactions fees as Bitcoin users, right? So it was not longer cheaper. So 182,899 for Ethereum users versus 185,993 for Bitcoin users. So you can see that it was $3,000 cheaper basically on the daily transaction fees, right? Now, since September the 1st, the average of Ethereum transaction fees has increased from over like 11 cents to just under 39 cents. So it's like almost fourfold, right? So almost 4 times the price. Now, that is data from BitInfoCharts, right? So anyways, Ethereum also announced dates for the testing of the Istanbul fork. Now, that the hard fork for this network, right? Or for the most popular network that they have, or test network that they're going to use, is called Ropstein, and it's scheduled for October the 2nd. And the hard fork for testnet Goerli is scheduled for October 30th. And basically, the testnet Rinkeby is going to get tested on November 13th. Now, Istanbul mainnet fork will go out in two parts. The first update will take place later this year, and the second sometimes in the first quarter of 2020. Damn, son. Thank you, David. Man, appreciate it, bro. You were the first dipper ever, man. Damn. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks. That's so cool. Did that little shark pop up, man? I get to see it very small on my screen. Yeah, 420, bro. Yeah, man. Cool. That's pretty cool, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. Now let's go look at Ethereum. I don't have news for Ripple, so I do just have something that I want to show. But I didn't find anything on the news for Ripple today. I mean, the past couple days were really loaded with news for Ripple and others, right? But today they were very light. So anyways, Ethereum yesterday, positive momentum, right? Going up. Plus 4.24% right now, going down 0.78%. Sitting at 8.93 of market cap. Almost 9%, man. That is pretty good. We were sitting above 9% yesterday. Again, gaining terrain on Bitcoin is good. It just makes everyone less susceptible to Bitcoin changes, right? Now on to Ethereum. Ethereum on the daily, right? We were in this upsloping channel. We kind of broke out of it. Yesterday we had also that suspense, going down. We created some bullish divergence. I posted it on Discord for XRP. I didn't post it for Ethereum, but we also had it. And right now, basically, we're really high above that 20 MA, right? We're actually outside of the Bollinger Bands. Are we sitting at some support? Maybe we have some support from back here, right? You can see that we have a couple candle closes around this area, back here as well, touching it. So maybe we're hitting some sort of support that's holding us up. I haven't actually placed support on this chart, but we are certainly sitting. Basically, we made back everything that we lost yesterday, and we were sitting up outside of that channel. Therefore, invalidating this as the high that we had, and we can actually extend this to here, and we will have a new high with new retraces, right? So potential retraces would be around $210. That would be the 236 initial of the retracement zone. Then the 382, which would be at 201. Then all the way to the 618, which would be 187. That's usually where the retrace ends. However, if we wanted to retrace more, we still go to the 786, which would be at $177. Momentum starting to decrease. That's fine. Nothing to worry about. We were overbought. So we are definitely having to retrace a little bit. We have to cool off before we run again. Let's go on the 4 hours, right? On 4 hours, above that 20 MA, volatility starting to contract a little bit on the Bollinger Bands, making positive momentum. However, starting to stagnate on this candle. This is not really a reversal pattern, but we could certainly see lower prices, right? Sitting a little bit lower on the RSI at 64.41, and here we are not making. We're not, right? No, we're not. We're going. Well, yeah, we could be, like a hidden bullish divergence, right? From here to here, right? And then it would be like from here to here, right? Slightly lower, so they're both diverging on the bullish side. So again, bullish divergence happening. Just keep it in mind. It's hidden. That potentially why we saw price action to the upside again. But we also have it on the day, on the 1 hour, and that's a little bit more clear. Right, from here to here, and then look at this, man. Very strong hidden bullish divergence, right? Like very, very steep, right? On all levels, man. On the MACD, on the RSI, price action to the upside, popped nicely. That is pretty cool. We are starting to stagnate on momentum, almost at basically killing momentum, right? Almost stalling. We might get across. We might see some negative momentum. That is fine. We were at overbought a couple hours ago, right? At 11 a.m. all the way to like 2 p.m. And right now we're just sitting. These are central times. Just keep it in mind. In your chart, it might look different if you do look at charts, right? Anyways, here we had that bearish divergence that we talked about, saw to potential price action to the downside, played out. Then we developed this bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence, and price action to the upside, right? So we're sitting at around 57 on the RSI, which is pretty neutral. On Ripple, what I wanted to show, man, I got this email, right? And it's from like CoinField CEO, and apparently they're gonna do something with the XRP ledger, right? It says RCO on upcoming XRPL project, which again is going to be another exchange that is going to be using the XRP ledger to transfer money. So again, more adoption and again, better news for Ripple, right? This is the only thing that I found. It's not really an article. I did not find a tweet for this. This basically says we never wanted to be only another crypto exchange on the block. Indeed, our goal from the first day was to create a new financial ecosystem that people can easily trade different assets and spend time in real time. We are getting there. Blockchain is changing our world. XRP ledger, right? XRPL. That's the only thing I have, so we're just going to look at the chart for Ripple. Ripple on the daily. What is happening, man? Yesterday we lost dominance so sadly, right? Even though we made really... Oh, wait. Yeah, this is daily. So yesterday we did lose dominance, 4.73%. Right now losing dominance again, 1.56, sitting at 4.82 of market cap. Such a shame we dropped below 5%. It would be better if we are up here again. The more dominant that a coin is, the less susceptible it is to other coins determining what's going to happen. Even though Ripple also made up really nice comeback, right? Look at this. Almost all the way up. We did come back here yesterday again from where we dropped, but we haven't been dropping since. We were hugging that 30-cent support till before these new candles started, so 2 hours ago. And before this started, the stream started, or when I got home and I started preparing everything, we were still up here. I'm a little bit surprised to see that we're still dropping, but again, we are retracing. Yeah. So from high to low, we have not hit the 382, although we are in that retrace zone. We're probably bouncing around that the 236, which would be at 29 cents. Ripple right now sitting at 29.397 cents, right? So 29.3 cents. Anyways, we are going down. Again, we could touch this part of the channel that we broke out of, kind of dip back into it, bounce back off, and you see that support before we keep on running. I would expect to see us again over the 30 cents, but we're gonna have to look at the chart again to see what's happening, right? Even after this impulse up, we are starting to make a sort of consolidation pattern. That is good. You know, resetting the oscillators right now on the RSI sitting at 60. Still high on the bot scale, but not overbought, but not on the neutral zone, right? That 60 to 40 being the neutral zone. We still need to retrace a little bit more. Potentially we could run up again, right? Let's go on the 4 hours. So what happened on the 4 hours, right? Again, we were here yesterday. You know, Bitcoin was dropping. Everyone was dropping. We touched this channel as support. That was fine. We touched it again as support. We broke down a little bit. But then we used it as support again right in the next candle, bouncing off it. We sat above that 30-cent support that we had traced. Right now, we're below it again. We could come down here and touch it and retrace. If we go from low to high in here on the RSI, right, we would go from here to here basically. And we would be retracing and hitting that 50% retrace right now. That is what supported us, right? We broke down, we went below that 50, right? Went below that 50. Man, I don't like it when I zoom too much. I'm gonna have to move this a little bit, so not that. Where's this? Oh, man. It's acting a bit weird. There we go. I'm just gonna move here to where we were at, and then I might be able to zoom in and see these numbers, right? Anyways, this is a little bit better. We dropped below that 50. We did not quite touch that 618, which would be the last part of the retrace that we would see. Anyways, we bounced off it, touched that 236 again. That is what we touched. We're rejecting it again, touching that 50 cent and bouncing back off it. So basically, we're right now bouncing between the 236, which would be 30 cents or 38.99, and that 50, which would be the 28.880, right? That's where we'll be bouncing around, sitting above that 50% anyway, below, no, slightly above that 50%, right? So between the 50% and the 382, we're fine. Again, we might see some sort of retrace, right? Yeah, what else is going on? So here we're a little bit more neutral, sitting at 54. Negative momentum still building, you know. However, developed right now, and this is in very short term because we have not still finished pumping down. We'll be going higher, and then again we will be going lower. Again, creating a hidden bullish divergence, which could see us prop up to the upside, right? I'm gonna get rid of this because then it's gonna get too cluttered. But I might get rid of it in the 1 hour. Anyways, on the 1 hour, what happened, right? We had developed this double bearish divergence we talked about, pump to the downside. We hit some sort of bullish divergence, right? A strong bullish divergence on the histogram, MACD histogram, and the price action, right? And we had like weak bullish divergence on the RSI, being this a flat line, and us converging with it. Again, that's what saw us pop to the upside. We are not making a higher high, so I'm not worried about anything developing here as far as bearish stuff. Sorry, but it could be, and this is just a possibility, right? That this is such a small island, I'm not sure if it's gonna have any weight. But if we go from here to here, then we would have to go from here to here, and we would be making like hidden bearish divergence. Again, price action to the downside. That's probably why we pumped down. We consolidated. This is not a full consolidation, however. Upsloping after an impulse down, anything that is upsloping and slightly upsloping would be like a bear flag. Again, price action to the downside. We are again consolidating to that upside. We were rejected by a 20 MA, and what I don't like is that if we keep making this sort of movement, again, we might have another pump to the downside. Just be aware of that, right? It could develop, has not developed yet. Here we would be going with the market right now. Higher low, less negative momentum, and here we would also be making less on the RSI. So that will be for Ripple right now. I don't have anything else for Ripple, so I'm going to move on to Litecoin. Now, basically, this is from an interview with Charlie Lee, which was done by this website, Crypto Slate. Basically, he stated that initially he was in it for fun. Then, basically, he intended to position Litecoin to be the silver to Bitcoin's gold when he first launched it. And basically, he says that he thinks that there's always going to be a space for Litecoin to thrive. So he's not worried about all these other coins coming into the space, right? There's always going to be tons and tons of coins, but he thinks that Litecoin and Bitcoin will really be used as currency. Now, despite Charlie Lee's influence and power over Litecoin, his goal for the community is to outgrow his leadership. And he's actually stating that and this is quoting him, right? What I'd like to see with Litecoin is that eventually it wouldn't need me. So in the end, it's a decentralized currency. Having a centralized figurehead, it's counterproductive because then I become a central point of failure, which I do believe that he should just step down from the role and let this fluctuate by itself, right? If he believes that, then he should just move on. That's it for Litecoin. There were not that many articles. We have 3 for Binance, though, before we actually... and then I don't think we have anything after that. Anyways, what is happening with Litecoin dominance on the daily, right? 7 people watching. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it, guys. If you are here, let me know in the chat so I know who is watching. I know David's here. I know Soka is here. Thank you, Soka, for being here. I just noticed your thumbs up. Thank you. Again, David, thanks for that tip, man. I really appreciate it. What is happening? Soka, dude, when you get a chance, we need to... do another test stream like the one you helped me prior, because the voices is not popping up when there was a tip, right? The one that says like like David has tip, blah blah blah. We need to fix that, I guess. Anyways, on the daily, what happened? Losing dominance, right? Ethereum gained, meaning money probably flew out of the alts into Ethereum, or just flew out of the alts, and basically Ethereum and Bitcoin gained dominance, right? But anyways, Litecoin losing dominance 2.09% yesterday. Right now losing 0.43, sitting at 1.83. But I mean, Litecoin is very weak on the size of dominance it has in the market, so I'm not too worried about that, right? Anyways, on Litecoin, what happened, right? Yesterday, we came down, touched that mid part of the channel, which is good. That means our channel has been valid. We kind of rejected it, bounced back up, but right now we're making another red candle. That's fine. Starting to lose momentum. That is fine. We had developed that bearish divergence also on the lower scales. We'll have to see what's happening, right? As soon as we zoom in. Here we were not on the overbought. We were high on the bot scale, but not overbought. Right now sitting at 57, which puts us on that neutral zone. And that is fine. Now let's go into the 4 hours, right? On the 4 hours, we talked about this divergence yesterday, right? It had not fully developed when we were in the stream. I think it's in the 1 hour that we're going to be able to see it. But we said it could play out to the downside. It did. Here we had a straight line yesterday, if you remember, for this. So it was something like this. I removed it today because it was getting too cluttered. It was something like this, more or less. Um, and yeah, so that was it. That's we developed that, and then you know, your chat going through. No, your chat is not going through, David. You're actually messaging me, but for some reason is not showing up, man. Let me see what's happening here. Um, yeah, that shark thing, man. It's the it's the standard, bro. That's like we want to make something better. Like when someone subscribes, like what is it like? Barney Stinson says, "What's up?" But we do want to do something different. We just haven't had the time. It's been a little bit hectic with work, and then rushing home to do this stream. For some reason, your texts are not coming through, man. That is weird. Maybe there's a delay on the YouTube chat. I'm not sure, but I am definitely looking at what you're sending me over on Facebook, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, it's weird, man. I'm not sure if it's a stream or not, but it's awkward that chat's not coming through. Because Soka's stuff is coming through, so I'm not sure what is happening with that, right? Uh, I'm looking at your standing, and you're fine on chat, so you should be able to post. That's weird. Um, Anyways, let's go back to Litecoin, right, real quick. Let's finish this, and then we'll move on to Binance, and then whatever you guys want to look at, right? Anyways, on the 4 hours, what is happening, man? Are we doing something? Well, low, high. We're going high, less negative momentum. That is fine. Going high, maybe just might be a maybe, right? But maybe from here to here, yeah, maybe from here to here, and maybe from here to here, we would be making. I don't think we're making it, no, because this is not actually lower yet, right? So I'm trying to gauge this, like 0.22 and 0.25 slightly, right? Like this would be slightly inclined, very slightly. It would be like hidden bullish divergence, which could be why we popped up. But it's very very slight, man. It's almost a straight line, so I'm not really confident on this one, right? I'm assuming more is because we touched that mid part of the channel that we bounced off actually, than putting it on this. Maybe it is also related that we touched that part and we had this sort of like hidden bullish divergence that played out. Also from here to here, we would be making more or less similar levels of relative strength, right? Which again would create that straight line. It might have been that a little bit less here. I think like 49.83 and 49.98. Actually, different, right? More converging with what's happening on the market. But anyways, here we were making it, but maybe in the 1 hour we have something better that we can. And we can see what happened, right? I'm going to extend this channel a little bit just in case we are using it as some sort of support. And I think we are kind of like are staying out of it, which is good. We're sitting above that 20 MA. Contraction starting to happen on the Bollinger Bands. Let's go into 1 hour. Sitting above that 20 MA, definitely bouncing off it once, twice, right? Almost 3 times bouncing off that 20 MA. Starting to make less positive momentum, sitting around 50 on the RSI. Yeah, 50.16, which puts us on that neutral zone. Now, like I was saying, this divergence that we had was playing out from the MACD here and the histogram, and here on the actual RSI, right? So I want to look at a more macro scale. I mean, we would be certainly ignoring all these smaller islands, right? But if we want to take these low, again, which was the one we took to this one, and then we would were to go from here to here, we would be making that, a bullish divergence that we talked about, that hidden bullish divergence. But again, I'm not really liking it because we're ignoring a lot of information that actually played out right, particularly the bearish divergences that we had. So right now, I'm going to throw fibs again, see if something's happening, and I'm going to use... Man, should I use this as low? Probably, right? Low to high. Maybe I'm going to use this one because it's nearer, right? this would have seen us retrace almost to that 60%, staying above that 50%, actually using that support as well, or that 382, sorry, which apparently could be better, right? So I'm going to use this as the low right now because we did consolidate around this area for a while on the 1 hour. So I'm going to use this as the local low, even though you could use this one as well. It just depends on how, again, how you want to see the market, right? If we use this one, we have now retraced to that 50%. We did retrace to that 382, which would be $74.03. And again, it just depends with what you're comfortable with, right? If you want to use a real low, then you would have to come all the way down here, right? This wick back here. That's where I'm setting this at. And then we would be sitting at... we basically that just touched that 382 and then bounce off it, and we are facing some resistance right now at that 236, which would be $76.06, and back here we were at $73.41. So, potentially could be that, Anyways, let's go into Binance. Binance, Binance is planning to add over-the-counter trading to its platform in a month to provide users with fiat currency gateways, specifically for the Chinese yuan, right? Now, they are trying to compete more in the Chinese market. Apparently, they feel that they have neglected it a little bit because they have been so focused on Binance US, launching the futures, doing everything else. So they want to, again, get a better grasp on the Chinese market. Now, they are also rolling out a payment service that will allow users from 170 countries to buy crypto assets using fiat currencies at Binance.com. I think they said they were going to use USD on the actual Binance US, and also their Binance US dollar, which is their Tether pair, right? Now, the news about Binance's over-the-counter capabilities basically come as the exchange is racking up deals to increase basically its links with the real economy and improve its connections to mainstream finance, right? And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get more adoption. We talked about that yesterday. They do want to have investors come in, right? Right. Anyways, I have this other article. I'm gonna show some parts of the article. It just basically says like Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao states that China's currency-based digital currency or something like that, it's good for the industry. I can't remember what the actual thing is, right? It's this one, central bank's digital currency. That's the one, right? That what he's saying though, what I want to show here is that they have such a large country issuing this money, right? The China-based China Bank, whatever this is called, right? China Bank digital currency, which is basically the digital Chinese yuan that we talked about, right? What does OTC mean? Over the counter. It means you can purchase it on basically any exchange, right? You don't have to go you can purchase it in many more ways than just the exchange, I think. Yeah, 1 second though. It's just how would I say it, man? It's like you're gonna buy currencies or assets that are not listed on a formal exchange, right? Basically, you buy them through like brokers or like different or other exchanges. Basically, that's how it resume it, right? That would be like over the counter. You don't go to like the New York Stock Exchange to buy it. You buy it through a third party that has access to it. I guess that's how I would have to resume it, right? So you wouldn't buy it on Binance. You would have to buy it on through a third party, basically. So if you don't have access to, let's say you don't have access to the Binance exchange, but you have access to another wallet that actually has Binance token, then you can buy it through that other wallet. So it's available over the counter, right? So not just through the Binance exchange that you can purchase it. So it's more accessible. That's how I would resume that question, right? Anyways, 8 people tuned in. Thank you for watching, guys. Now, anyways, what I wanted to point out here is that having such a large country issuing that China, their central bank digital currency, which is the digital yuan they're coming out with, will encourage other central banks to follow suit and issue their own digital currencies, right? He's stating that the Bank of England has basically dallied, dallied with the idea, and the Bank of Sweden also, but no major central bank has decided to implement digital currency, right? And then he goes on to say that his personal philosophy is that the more digital currencies there are out there, the better. Now, having more choice is always better than having no choice. Well, yeah, no, I don't believe that. I do believe that having some choice is good, but then if you have too much to choose from, then you can get paralysis from analysis, right? There's so much you don't even know what to get, and by the time you read on something, something else is out, and it becomes a little bit messy. Some choices are good, way too many or excessive, then it becomes too diluted. Imagine if there were like 20,000 cryptos, man, how much would they be actually worth? How liquid would they be, right? How easy would you be to trade, buy, and sell with that? It just would be much more messy. I mean, there's 2,000 already, and it's already a mess, right? Most of them being worthless or worth very little or worth nothing at all, man. Or not being liquid, man. That's the worst thing. You buy a coin, you hold it, you try to sell it, and there's no one wanting to buy it. So, liquidity, it's a big thing. Now, on the last news, Binance adds margin trading for Dash and Zcash. This is straight from the Binance website. It's very small. There's nothing else besides what's on the screen right now. And then it just ends, right? So basically, new margin assets are Dash and Zcash. New borrowable assets are Dash and Zcash. And new margin pairs are Dash to Bitcoin, Dash to Tether, Zcash to Bitcoin, and Zcash to US Tether. And that's it. We're going to go look at Binance on the chart. Yeah. Look, bro, I'm gonna send you something for that OTC question that you asked, right? Is it too lengthy? Yeah, it's too lengthy. If I cut this part out, yeah. This is more or less what I was telling you, right? And you're gonna be able to see it there on the screen. Um, Now, yeah, onto Litecoin, onto Binance. Sorry, Binance on the daily. What is happening with Binance? Let's see, Binance on the daily, man. Yesterday, did we lose? Yeah, we lost some market cap, right? Basically, whatever we gained, we have lost. Whatever we made on September 18, we have lost right now. Again, yesterday losing 3.49%. Right now, losing 0.87%. Sitting at 1.26. It's not very big. However, they do have a lot of use because they are a utility token that gets used on the exchange, and therefore it sees a lot of flow, right? Oh no, we dropped 2 viewers, man. That's so sad. What is happening, man? We are still within the downsloping channel. We have not been able to break out of it. Sitting above that 20 MA. Sorry, no, below that 20 MA, man. It kind of curved here. It looks weird. Anyways, below that 20 MA, starting to make negative momentum and sitting low on the RSI at 41. Again, lots of potential to run to the upside, but not really doing it. Now, let's go into the 4 hours. On the 4 hours, sitting above that, below that 20 MA right now. We were kind of sitting above it. Anyways, what happened? Well, same things that's happening with everyone else, right? Here we developed some sort of like hidden bullish divergence, right? Price action to the upside, not on the RSI, but here we did see that pump. We are seeing price action to the downside. That is fine. Over here on the top side, nothing, and from here to here, basically nothing. We're going with the market, right, on the 4 hours. Making a new bar of negative momentum. Again, let's hope we don't dump too much so we can neutralize this. However, this impulse down, no, this is actually like a channel, man. I'm pretty sure I can put this on a channel, I think. So I'm gonna try to do that. It could be a sort of bear flag that is developing. We do get some respect for that midline here. Again, potential when these things develop, the bear flag or like upsloping consolidation after an impulse down like this, it could be price action to the downside. Just keep it in mind. Anyways, let's go on the 1 hour. Well, we didn't say here. We're sitting at 50 on the RSI, which is neutral. Again, could go either way. On the 1 hour. What is happening on the 1 hour, right? We just traced this channel, so obviously we are in it. We are sitting over that 20 MA. We are kind of rejecting it. We haven't actually touched it yet, but we're very close to touching it. We could reject it and then see price action to the upside. Starting to make less positive momentum and sitting around 47 on the RSI, which is pretty cool. Trying to figure out if there's something developing here. Nope. Maybe. I mean, I think that's the same one we traced in the 4 hour, right? From here to here, and then it will be from here to here, basically, or here, right? Have that hidden bullish divergence develop, right? Look, and then to know if it's bullish or bearish, it's easy, right? Usually, if it's bearish, you trace it on the upper part of the price and the upper part of the oscillators, right? And then if it's bullish, you trace it on the bottom part, right? So if you go from here to here and then from here to here, it would be hidden bearish divergence, bullish divergence, right? But you also have to go to the same points. You cannot mix and match. You cannot use bottoms here and tops here. You know, it has to be congruent. So if you're using the bottom part and the bottom part, it would be bullish. If you're using the top part and the top part, it would be bearish. There's different types of divergence. So again, I'm trying to leave dust for a actual static video where we do divergence, right? So it's just something that, you know, so if I'm tracing it on the bottom and I accidentally say bearish, I mean bullish. And then if I'm tracing it on the top and I said bullish, I mean bearish, right? So sometimes I get a little bit tongue twisted. Anyways, trying to figure out we had that bullish divergence hidden develop, right? Anyways, there was another coin. Right now, I mean, we are flagging. We still have not broken out of this channel. If we break out of this channel, we might see a price action to the downside. We could certainly come down here, make another wick, and then bounce up, creating a sort of double bottom on the 1 hour. And then, again, a bullish sign, potential price action to the upside. You know, we will have to see some sort of rally as well. I think also on Ripple that I wanted to show it. I can't remember, man. Yeah, look at where we were at this price point, right? And look at where we were at this price point, right? So we had much more relative strength last time we were here. Right now that we are here, we're at lower levels of relative strength, which is good because, again, we have more room to run to the upside, right? If we wanted to run, we would not be hitting that overbought territory so quick. So is it good? Yeah, maybe. I mean, right now we have not still seen that this play out, right? Again, we could be making another sort of small bear flag and then push down again. This is just two small dojis that have formed, not even a third one, you know, so it's not even a valid pattern yet here. So we would need for this to develop a little bit more on Ripple. Anyways, guys, do you have any questions? I mean, I know there's a delay on the chat, and sorry, David, I think you sent me a message. Yeah, you're still here. Okay, that's the one I saw. Okay. Anyways, Soka, yeah, if anyone has any questions, man. If not, I mean, it's 9:55. I might just call it stream. I forgot to put the music back on, man. I always forget to turn it back on after I pause it for the commercials, and sometimes I just get caught up. If you guys notice that the music is not coming back after a couple minutes, then that's it. You know, I forgot to turn it back on. Yeah. Anyways, if there's no questions, then I'm just... Could I explain image result? What do you mean image results for Bollinger Bands? No, Bollinger Bands determine volatility, right? Like, don't confuse volatility with volume. Volume, it's a quantity, and volatility, it's a price action or movement, right? So the Bollinger Bands have an upper limit and an under limit, which are at a certain percentage of what's that percentage of? I'm trying to remember, man. I haven't explained Bollinger Bands in a while. So, anyways, you have upper limits and under limits, right? They are divided at a certain percentage of the action of the price. So the less price action that you start to have, right? The more stagnant that it becomes, the less average movement there is, or standard deviations from like from the 20 MA, right? That's what it's based on, the 20 MA. So you have certain standard deviations. So the less you move away from it, the more you start to contract, and the less volatility that there is in the market, right? When you have convergence or contraction on the Bollinger Bands, it's too tight. There's very low volatility, and usually when there's low volatility, you have explosive movements because a lot of money starts coming to the market, and you have violent movements, right? Like here, we were very tight, and look at this, man, explosion to the upside, very violently, you know. But again, if volatility is open, prices can go wild, right? Like here, we were at the top, we run all the way to the bottom, and then we run all the way to the top again. So Bollinger Bands are, oh snap, man. I use them to determine the volatility and try to determine price movement, right? Or price action. Not price action to the upside or downside, just whether or not we're going to get price action of some sort. Now, if you notice here, we had some tightness of the Bollinger Bands, right? It looks like a butt, basically, right? And we had some tightness, and we ended up exploding, right, to the upside again. Here we're tight on the Bollinger Bands, explode to the upside. Doesn't mean we have to explode to the upside all the time. Here we had some contraction of the Bollinger Bands, explode to the downside. Again, it just looks at the volatility in the market, right? That's how I could explain it in like easy terms. And look, if I open this, see the standard deviation that I was talking about from the median, which would be the 20 MA that I'm using for the length, like I told you. So that's how many standard deviations you are off, right? So it's 2 standard deviations, which puts you. It means that all price action is gonna be within. I can't remember the percentage. I think it's like 85% of the price action is gonna be contained within the bands. But then it also checks volatility from that standard deviation, right? So if it starts to get tight, you're gonna get explosive movement. Sometimes you go outside of the Bollinger Bands, but then you also always come back in, right? And some people don't like them. I do like them. I just look at them for volatility again. There's other indicators for volatility. This is the one I do like because it's easy to see. It's on the chart, and it shows me the 20 MA as well, which is often used as resistance and support, right? So yeah. Did that kind of answer your question, man? It's not an average. I mean, it uses the average, which is the 20 MA, right? The 20 moving average, the 20 prior period moving average. So if I'm looking at the hours, it would use the prior 20 hours as the moving average. If I use the 4 hours, it would use the prior 4 hours as the moving average. And if I use the daily, it will use the prior 20 days as the moving average. If I use the weekly, the previous 20 weeks, right? That's how it would go. So it does use an average, but it's not an average itself. It's an indicator of volatility. Yeah. So I just track it to make sure, like, see right now, even though we drop down, you know, going up, going down, we are starting to get some contraction out of the Bollinger Bands. We are not as expanded as we were here. We could still contract more. Look back here, look at this, man. We were all, like, very tight, right? All the movements were very tight. That's what, when we were back here, it was very boring, dude, because we were doing nothing. We were just moving sideways. But once we get volatility, then we get those wild swings, and then you can make you can make profit, right? Anyways, like from here would be like 28 cents. It went all the way up to like 31 cents, you know, in a matter of like from 6 in the morning today until midday, right? So in 6 hours, man, like 3 cents, right? Like almost 10% up, basically. And then we broke down, but you know. Does that explain it a little bit better? Or did I confuse you more? I'm not sure. Sometimes I'm not really good at explaining stuff, man, but I do try to put it as simple as I can. Sometimes. And then sometimes I just overcomplicate it for no reason. Anyways, let me know, man. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I know chat is a little bit slow today for some reason. I'm not sure, but yeah. Well, we look at that. I'm gonna go back and look at Bitcoin and see what it's doing. It's probably not doing much since, yeah, like I said, probably we are within this. Man, this looks curved. Nah, probably it just looks awkward, man. There we go. From reason it looks like it's curving. It's like a trippy effect because these two lines are here. It just makes it look like it's curving a little bit, but nah, it's a straight line. Like I said, it could be a downsloping wedge. It's too short of a pattern. You know, on the 1 hour, it's not a very reliable scale. Yeah, it's about volatility, man. It's not a very reliable scale, right? So, I mean, I'm just gonna look at the 30 minutes to see if I'm missing something here. No, I mean, this would certainly be a pull and a flag. This would be a bull flag that we were making, a downsloping wedge. I'm going to get better contact points here, I think. So again, could potentially mean price action to the upside. We are sitting at 60 on the RSI. We do have some room to run to the upside. But again, yeah, we're sitting at that 20 MA, man. Above that 20 MA, but you know, we used it as support with this last candle. Sorry, man. I'm putting it in a better place. Anyways, here we also develop a sort of flag. I mean, I had to go into like the 30-minute, and I don't like smaller scales. They're less reliable, but you know, if we were to go here, we would be making like a downsloping triangle. You know, usually downsloping triangles, triangles are more or less neutral, right? So they could play to either way. But like being such a short pattern, you know, for me, I'm not sure. I would have expected this to break down possibly to the downside. I mean, even though it could be a flag of sorts, maybe it's a little bit upsloping and it'll be a symmetrical triangle. I mean, I would really have to get into here. But like I said, I don't like the more micro scales because it just makes everything harder to see, man. See, it would be like a sort of, symmetrical triangle, right? So again, symmetrical triangles can go either way. Broke to the upside again with nice volume on that 30-minute chart, right? This bar looks like the finger here. So it's like, yeah, F you guys. And then it just popped up, right? Now we're flagging and then, sitting below that 10,234 that we used as support like a couple times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times at least. 6 if I count this one. So this one didn't quite touch it, but you know, it's close enough to that range, right? None of them are actually touching it. I might just be a little bit off on this, but if I move it a little bit up or down, it's not going to make a difference. It's just around this general area that there is, right? So you can see there's no wicks here. So this one does have a wick. But anyways, I would expect this potentially to go to the upside. How strong, I'm not sure. But right now we're making negative momentum. We have to see this neutralize. And then maybe get a cross of the MACD over the Bollinger, over the signal line, sorry. Then pump to the upside. That's what I would be expecting. Yeah, sorry, man. I just saw your yeah. So yeah, if you're having internet problems, man, that's no worries. I just sometimes my phone vibrates and it just takes me a second to look at it because I'm caught up with the stream. But if you message me through here, then yeah, it's fine, man. Anyways, yeah, that will be it right now. You know, I don't look at the 30-minute scale. I just rarely go lower. Sometimes when we have violent movements like this one that we detected yesterday, I do like to go on a more micro scale. Like I would go into the 5 minutes, right, and see that, man, all this long movement happening in one 5-minute candle, right? Most of it. Then if I look at this, then obviously I can see that in the next 10 minutes we drop, but we make it back. You know, again, sometimes I look at the more micro scales just to get an idea of how violent the movement was. If it was over a period of time, if it was just one like short session, one 5 minutes candle that just dropped us, you know. If we go into the 3 minutes, I think it was 2 3-minute candles that dropped us, right? Yeah. So in a span of like 6 minutes or 9 minutes, we hit that bottom and we bounce back up. So it's almost a 10-minute time frame that would be talking about, right? But I usually don't look at those micro scales. Just when I have something very peculiar that I need to look at, or if I wanted to get more confirmation points on this, then I would definitely look at a more micro scale. But anyways, this is the 1 hour. If you were doing swing trading or going longer, you wouldn't care about this very much. I mean, it certainly does give you an idea of where price is gonna go. But like I said, dude, yesterday we dropped to this bottom part of the channel, touched it, rejected it. You know, I just find all the coins did that, man. Even Ethereum. Ethereum came down, touched that bottom part of the. When was it? No, it wasn't Ethereum. It was another one of the coins that I had. Came back down, touched that bottom part, and then bounced off it beautifully. You know, so I think it was Bitcoin actually, and I think I'm just confused. I came back down, touched it, and then bounced off it right. And then in different exchanges, I have different things set up so I can tell different things that are happening. Right here, we went down, touched that 75% of that channel, bounced off it. So we're within that 75 and 100% of that downsloping channel. You know, to the moon, yes. Let's hope that we can go to the moon, man. We would need to certainly break this triangle, right, to the upside. It's symmetrical. People said it's. Some people are ignoring the wicks back here, and they're just basically tracing a straight line. You know, like I said, if you go on the daily, you would have wicks around that area, right? Like I said, these wicks, and people are ignoring them and just going by the bases. And if you just go by the base of the candle, closing and openings, you would have a straight line, and that would be a downsloping triangle. And again, usually could potentially break the downside, right? But the way we have it is more of a symmetrical triangle, even though it's a bit downsloping, but symmetrical. And again, could go either way. And we are seeing it, and it's congruent with the indecision that we're seeing it happen here, right? We are fighting for this area. Bears push down, bulls pull back up, and we're just floating around this area for a while, man. We have been around this area since way back here, right? I mean, look at this. Lots of movement around this area from August 14th till August 18th. Then again, from August 22nd all the way till August 27th. And then again around this area that we started touching it. So from September the 6th all the way until September the 20th, right? So we are just around that area. We are going to get closer and closer to this upper part, and we might start getting some resistance and actually see us start declining here. However, everyone's expecting us to break soon. You know, a lot of speculation going on with backed on the 23rd. Will it happen or will it not? Still yet to be seen, right? The 23rd, it's until Monday, I think. Yeah, Monday. So once back launches, we'll have a better idea as to what is happening, right? Anyways, yeah. That's going to be it for the stream. 8 people tuning in. Thank you for watching, guys. Again, if you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell if you have not done it. Yeah, we are here every day, right? So, again, thank you for tuning in. I'll see y'all tomorrow.